And you like
It's
doing pastry?
I always liked it. I was good at it. Like I was always very into very precise with everything I made. And pastry it's a very precise medium. So I was always good at it, and no one else could do it, so I just did it. And the fact that I have the cooking aspect, I'm able to change things and alter it. Where like a regular pastry chef, it's like they can't stray from a recipe, but I will. So that's why I have the kind of like the best of both worlds, and that's why you'll see my recipes like no one does them, because it's like they're not a chef dessert, they're not a pastry dessert, they're in between.
That's a very interesting set of skills to separate yourself from.
So that's why they're always unique, and you don't see it too often.
So how did you get then to Ottawa then? What was your transition from Toronto?
My wife. Okay, I follow my wife a lot. We've moved a lot.
Okay.
She did her doctorate in Montreal. So then we moved to Fredericton. She did her master's. And then she came back and she's doing her PhD. She's almost finished in Ottawa. So that's why we moved back and forth. And we decided to kind of settle for a while, and I decided to do the business here. I thought, I just liked Ottawa compared to all the other cities. I don't think my concept would have worked as well, say in Montreal and Toronto.
I disagree with that.
It would work, but it's just different. Yeah. It's more acceptable, whereas there you have so much competition. The money is more, and I don't know. It's hard to say. There was something about Ottawa. I had a lot more support than I think I would have in the other cities.
You think it's more community-oriented kind of thing?
Yeah.
Especially where you are, right? Being in Wellington West.
Yeah, and so it's I know a lot of chefs in the city, and we all get along, and it's fun. You don't always get that in some of the bigger cities. Montreal it's a whole different scene, and I thought about opening in Montreal as well, but I liked Ottawa. I like the way the feel, and I love the area that I'm in. So.
What's your wife doing her PhD in?
It's in public administration, so it has nothing to do with me. So.
No. But public, so that means I guess she'd be possibly working in the government.
It's possible, yes.
And that would keep you here. That's the
main worry, right?
That's the main worry here.
Yeah. You're talking about moving. Nobody's moving.
All right. So we'll be back with Michael Holland in just a moment. We got a few more questions to go. We'll talk about some Donut Wars action, talk about some charities we work with, advice to young chefs. But first we'll listen to Jen from Foodie Prints tell us about Taste of Wellington West, Chinatown Remix, and the Scotch tasting, and then listen to Faceplant by Suits and Toques. I hope you're still with us with that win. We apologize, but it's the content that counts. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, as we head into the last days of summer, there's still lots of food events to check out. Here are my picks for this weekend. Taste of Wellington West is back again this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a free one-day event inviting locals and visitors to explore the neighborhoods of Hintonburg and Wellington Village. Business owners will be out with food samples, course registrations, and demos. There's also a sidewalk sale, live music, and a kids' play zone all along Wellington West. You'll also find family activities at the Parkdale Market. As this event will be held rain or shine, be sure to pack those umbrellas with you as it looks like rain is in the forecast. For a map and full list of participants, go to wellingtonwest.ca and click on Taste of Wellington West 2015. Also taking place on Saturday is Chinatown Remixed. It is Ottawa's one-of-a-kind annual art festival, sort of like a family-friendly sidewalk party, from 2 to 8 p.m. near the Arch on Somerset West. You'll find art installations, an activity, or a performance at each station. Now, attendees are strongly encouraged to go art hunting from place to place while filling out a passport by collecting stamps for a chance to win 2 free tickets to anywhere that Porter Airlines flies to. And if that's not enough to get you going, local breweries, Bose and Whitewater will be on hand, serving up some of their signature beers. For more information, go to chinatownremixed.ca. Oh, and it looks like I have just enough time for one last recommendation. For all those Scotch and whiskey lovers out there, check out Petit Bill's Bistro Scotch and Whiskey Dinner, being held this Sunday from 6 to 9 p.m. at the restaurant at 1293 Wellington Street West. Tickets are $65 plus a small processing fee. Your tickets include a 4-course dinner, 4 samples of scotch, and a cocktail blend. The whiskeys on hand that night will be a Macallan Amber, a Macallan Sienna, and a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old Highland Park. I should also let you know
Tired to live and breathe mediocrity. Tired to get in with the crowd. Talk only when we're loud. As it's a state of mind, an addiction to stability. Maybe it's just sensibility. And I don't know who to believe anymore. What you're saying now is not what you said before. Dreamers will fall flat on their face. We're still dreamers. Whoa.
All right, thank you so much, Jen, and thank you, Suits and Toques. Of course, 7 p.m., Whole Foods Friday. If you have nothing to do, get out and do Marvis. It's going to be an incredible time. I can't wait to see how that builds throughout the next few years. All right, so one thing that was I don't have a TV and I don't watch a lot of TV, but it was amazing to see you on Donut Wars. I didn't even know that show existed until you were on, but you destroyed everyone on that show.
Thank you.
And I was quite proud of Ottawa in that one. They didn't let you win for some unforeseen bureaucratic reason, but how did you get started in that show? How did that come about?
They had asked Mark if he knew someone, and I was working for him at the time. And he goes, "You want to do the show?" I'm like, "No." And then I thought about it, like, you know what, it'll be a lot of fun, and it's because I don't know if people realize it. It's aired in North America. It's huge. Americans love donuts, so it's huge in the United States. And so, like, all right, it'll be good for me. And this is at the time where I was planning on opening my shop. I said, oh, it'll help me. Any exposure is good exposure. So, yeah, so I did it. And I took Justin, who still works at Atelier. He was with me, and he was my helper. Yeah. So, yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. It was probably the most stressful thing I've ever done, though. Because there's a lot of things you don't see behind the scenes. But it was about filming for, I think it was about 10, 12 hours. And you're just exhausted by the end. And, yeah, I thought I was going to win. So that was the other thing. So it's like... They said who won, and I'm like, but you know, it was fun though. It was a really good experience.
But you did have the best product out there. I don't.
I agree, but in the end, it's like they picked the other girl, and she's doing very well.
Yeah.
With her 10,000, and she's quite busy, and it's nice to see. Although I could use the 10,000, but yeah.
Did you get along with everyone out there? Like it was.
I still talk to her actually, the girl that won.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's really nice. She has a shop in New Jersey, and the other guy, yeah, he's funny. He's from Texas, in the middle of nowhere, and they're both really good donut shops. So it's kind of nice to compete against them, considering I'd never made donuts before. So
yeah, right. Yeah.
So that was the other thing. So
and they were donut professionals, I guess.
Yes, so they were.
So you do a lot of. I've seen you a lot. You've supported a lot of charities, which I absolutely love. What are some that you've helped out with, and what do you like to see in this neighborhood?
I've supported the Parkdale Food Market quite a bit. There's times where I'll donate cakes, or if I have bread, sometimes I have a bread left over, and I just they're very supportive of the community, and they do a lot of things. So I like to kind of do that. And as an independent business owner, I don't have a lot of extra money, so anywhere I can kind of donate, even my time or my cakes, I find it's a good thing where it's like, if I can make a cake, which it doesn't cost me too much money, and sell it at full price, and then donate that money to a worthy cause, for me at least I'm doing something.
Yeah.
And so a few people have done, when I do the Friday cakes, the limited edition, I've done that where all the proceeds will go to a certain charity. So for me, it's something small I can do without actually, say getting 500,000, which I just can't afford to donate. Yeah. But at least I can do that, and they'll be able to get that money. So.
That's great. Any upcoming events or charities that we can talk about?
I am doing something, actually, for the Taste of Wellington, because we're doing we're doing little mini sundaes.
Okay.
So actually, we haven't decided on the charity yet. We're still debating about it, but we're going to donate to something. It most likely might be something to do for Alzheimer's.
And so
Okay.
people can come and pick up little mini.
Yeah, they're going to be. It's going to be $1 each or more, and
Yeah.
the 100% of the money will go towards
Right on.
the charity.
So Saturday,
Excellent.
all day Saturday, get out there. Of course, what other advice do you give to young chefs or young creatives that, it's a stressful time. You get out of school, you have a lot of debt now. You get out of university doing something your parents you got to go to university. You can't become a chef. You are very lucky in the sense that your guidance counselor told you what would work for you in your best interest, not
Yes,
what
sir.
the parents would say. Because a lot of guidance counselors I know are afraid to tell people that, and they'll go back to their parents, and then their parents will complain to the school, going, "Why are you telling my
Yeah,
kid
absolutely.
there's no money in
Stability.
in being
Stability.
Yeah, you got to go with stability. They won't go to university now because of you. So a lot don't have the risk. What would your advice be in that kind of growth?
When my guidance counselor told me this was over 20 years ago. So this was different. This is when the Food Network was just getting really popular. So there was it was a very glamorous profession. Nowadays it's not the same. It's it's very rough. It's you're associated with tattoos, drinking, drugs, the long hours. You work at nights, and it's a party. It's like a party profession. Honestly, I wouldn't really recommend it to anyone. You have to really, really want to do it, because it's you're working crazy hours. You're working when everyone else is off. You're working on holidays. You're working usually at nights. I'm lucky. As a pastry chef, you work in the daytime.
Super early.
Yeah, super early. So that's the opposite
Right.
end of the spectrum. Sometimes we start 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
So you have to really, really want to do it, and the money is not there. There are a few exceptions where when you get into places that have unions, you can be getting $20, $30 an hour, but it's very rare. And the restaurant industry is very sketchy. It's you can get hired at one place, and then the next week they'll fire you for no reason.
Yeah.
You have no protection. You have no benefits. So anyone that actually really wants to do it, just make sure. And it's because it's not a long-term thing. You can't be a chef for 20 years. That's why as you get older, you end up in the office doing paperwork. It's you can't stay on the line and do that the rest of your life. It's not possible. It burns you out too fast.
So you diversify, keep learning other aspects of the restaurant industry while you're there, not just...
I would, yeah. I wouldn't just focus on one thing, especially pastry. Pastry chefs are becoming a novelty. It's no one wants to pay someone to do desserts. In a restaurant, typically, if it's a busy restaurant, they'll sell 25-30% desserts, depending on the number of people. So if 100 people go in, maybe only 25 people will buy a dessert. So to pay someone, full-time to do desserts, it doesn't make sense, which is why most people will do either bring in the desserts, or they'll have what you call chef desserts, which are always creme brulee,
Bread pudding.
on
The
bread
same
pudding.
thing,
And the
yeah.
problem is, though, no one ever does them properly. So they're easy desserts, but no chef can do it properly. There's very
Right.
few in the city that do them well. I think Supply and Demand is actually one of the first places, and Atelier, but Supply and Demand had a dessert. It was an apple pie. Is one of the best desserts I've ever had, and it's a chef dessert. But it's incredible, and it's done well, and they're not trying to pretend to be a pastry chef. And that's the problem when chefs pretend to be pastry chefs or think they know what they're doing, which they don't. Make desserts, it shows. But but I'm also very picky, and I don't even eat desserts anyway, so it doesn't matter.
You don't eat desserts?
I don't
How could
really
he?
eat desserts.
How could he?
I don't eat
He'd
my
be
own
400
cakes
pounds.
or anything.
He'd
You
be
don't eat
400
your own
pounds.
cakes or anything.
And I don't even eat my own sandwiches anymore because I used to eat them every day. So now it's very rarely I'll eat my own.
So you eat lettuce and
I'll eat
all the things that keep you nice and slim.
basically. Yeah.
So just one kind of... I guess you got the pastry overlord. Who told you that was your nickname?
Okay, that started because I was in a band. So my
Okay.
nickname was the Overlord. This is black metal. It was really popular. So I was the Overlord of Eternal Darkness. And then I left the band. And then I was like, all right, well, I like Overlords. So I'm going to become the Overlord of Pastry. And then as a joke, like it was like 5 years later, I was like, you know what? I did Twitter. I had my Twitter handle. I did Pastry Overlord. I'm going to get a tattoo on my knuckles. It'll be the coolest thing ever. And then, like, you know, so I did it, like, without even thinking. And then I was like, I have my knuckles tattooed. I have prison tattoos now. And I was like, I probably shouldn't have done that.
How many years ago was that?